There are those vegans that don't take supplements, and there are those vegans that do. I am one of the latter. So let's talk about supplements, baby. So quite often, I'll stop this accent. Or will I? Okay, I will. Quite often I get asked the center myself. Quite often I get asked the question in my comment section of all my videos, what is the stack of supplements that you take? What do you take every single day? What are the best supplements to take for a vegan to get jacked? All that kind of stuff. So I wanted to make a video so I could finally just reference it and say, go watch that old video where I talk about every single supplement that I'm taking right now. So I'm gonna run you through it. These are all the supplements I take to get jacked and to stay jacked and be the jackiest vegan that I could possibly be. Let's go, frog neck. Oh yeah, and a real quick note that not all of these supplements are sponsored. So this isn't just a giant video of me telling you to buy my sponsored supplements. A lot of these are not, so just be prepared. Let's go. All right, so I figured the easiest way to go through this is in order of how I take them throughout the day. So the first one is the Vivo Ritual Protein, and this is one that I'm sponsored by. So if you want to get any of the Vivo Life supplements that I use or any of them that are on the site, you can use my code and get you a discount, and it'll help your boy out. But I use this right when I wake up. I put this in my oats, 1 serving, and then right after my workout, I just quickly shake this up in some water or usually some Ripple milk, and then I drink it, and then I get my first meal. And so I have about 2 scoops of protein every single day. If you don't like that, fight me, bro. All right, next up, a controversial subject. Pre-workout. A lot of vegans really don't think that you should take pre-workout. I'm not one of those vegans. I definitely take pre-workout. Vivo does not have a pre-workout supplement, so I kind of concoct my own. So I've just been using Veg's pre-workout. Veg is ran by a friend of mine, Nima. I'm sure you guys know him. So I use a scoop of the pre-workout, which has 100 milligrams of caffeine in it, and then I add citrulline malate. I forget the company that I have the citrulline malate from. I just Amazoned it. Citrulline malate is an amino acid, and it is a vasodilator. So when you take this about 30 to 60 minutes before your workout, your veins, both your arteries and your veins will dilate so that you can deliver more blood to your muscles, which means you can get more oxygen to your muscles, which means you can get more repetitions. And also you get a sweet, sweet pump. Honestly, that's probably the only reason I take it. It's because when you're working out, you get a solid pump. And when I'm pumped, I feel more motivated. So I have better workouts. Oh God. Okay. So I think in the thumbnail, I wrote semi-illegal. Here's that part. So judge me if you want to judge me. Don't judge me if you're cool. There's something called 1,3-dimethylamyline, which is the long name, or it's just DMAA. Now this is a, what is it? I think it's no, it's not amino acid. It's a stimulant. It's like caffeine or synephrine. It's like any stimulant. And they used to put it in all of the pre-workouts about 10 years ago, which dates me pretty hard. Old man Brian used to use this supplement back in my days. The problem was a bunch of dumb kids were taking way too much of this to parties. They weren't even using it as a pre-workout. They were taking this for parties, and then they would take way more than you needed, and then they would go to the hospital. So the FDA made it illegal-ish in America. Kind of illegal. It's not even illegal though, because you can still get it on the internet. I don't know. So I only use this every couple of workouts, maybe to be like 1 every 4 or 5 workouts. Whenever I really, really want to get a super solid workout, because what this does, it's kind of like caffeine. It gets you really focused. It gets you really excited, like you're stimulated. You have like a lot of energy. You're really ready to push. And then when you're doing sets, when you get to that point where you're like, oh God, like, 12, 13, 14, this is really hard. It just kind of turns you into like, screw it. 15, 16, 17, 18. So it gets you to push just a little tiny bit harder. This is something that I used to love so much back in the day. And so yeah, I was stoked that I could find it. A friend of mine told me you can get it from this website. And I was like, all right, cool. But look how tiny this scoop is. That is 10 milligrams. And usually people will take about 30 to 60 milligrams whenever they're taking it for pre-workout. So you can see how easily someone who's dumb, who's just shaking it into, a bottle of water could totally screw it up, and it could be dangerous. So I'm highly not recommending using that, but I'm telling you everything that I use. Next up, since we are on pre-workouts, I use turmeric, which I do not have any footage of because I ran out. I use turmeric pills. So it's turmeric curcumins, I think they're called, and then it has black pepper for absorption. And I use this in place of ibuprofen. So if any certain day I feel like, I kind of slept on my shoulders wrong and I'm gonna hit upper body, I will take this to kind of help me with the inflammation instead of ibuprofen. That way I don't slowly nuke my stomach and my liver. Yeah, that's not good. So get off the ibuprofen. And the final thing that I use for my pre-workout, which also sadly I ran out of, is creatine. I usually use the Vivo Life creatine, which I just ran out of a couple days ago, so I'm waiting for a new order of it. But creatine is so good. You may have seen my video in the past where I really break down what creatine does for you, but in a more layman's terms, without getting really boring and sciencey, it gives you a few extra reps per set. And over time, those few extra reps add up over a year where you're getting hundreds of extra reps. Creatine is extremely cheap. It is usually vegan. Vivo Life specifically is vegan. Yeah, most of them are vegan, and it's safe. They've done scientific studies on it. And all it does is it basically sits in your muscles, it sits in your blood, and it provides a little bit of extra fuel through something called creatine phosphate and adenosine triphosphate. You don't need to know all that stuff. But basically, when people say, oh, it'll make you fat, they're lying. They have no idea what creatine does. You don't have to worry about that kind of thing. You might hold a little bit of extra water weight, but for me, it's worth it, bro. Okay, so then I get back from the workout. Then I usually have that chocolate protein shake just to get some protein in real quick. The next thing that I have is Vivo Life Thrive, which is a multi-nutrient. So this basically just covers pretty much all of the vitamins and the minerals. And the one really cool thing about this too is that it provides probiotics. So for me, I like having insurance to make sure that I'm hitting all my vitamins and minerals, because so many people in America are deficient in vitamins, and vegans are also deficient in certain vitamins, and this kind of covers a huge gamut of that stuff. So, you know, if I'm happening to eat too many potatoes and I'm not having a super diverse diet that day, I'm covered, bro. And it's super simple and it's pretty tasty too. All right, then we fast forward to the end of the night, right before I get into my old bed with the lady. That felt really weird to say. With my old lady. Like I'm in a biker gang. What if I get in my bed with the old lady? So then fast forwarding to the end of the night before I get into my bed, I then do B12. So Vivo Life has a B12 supplement. I do have to admit, I generally do not take the B12 supplement because I usually have so much Ripple milk throughout the day, and Ripple milk is already fortified with B12. No need to overdo it. But B12 is a muscle building supplement. Listen to this. B12 helps improve the amount of red blood cells that your body produces, and red blood cells deliver oxygen to the muscles, thus making it so that you can lift harder and longer. And 15% of all Americans, not vegans, just general Americans, are deficient in B12. So if you are deficient, then you're also not getting oxygen to your muscles as optimally as possible. So you better do that if you want to get jacked, bro. Next up is vitamin D. And obviously, if you spend a lot of time in the sun, then you really need to take this. I do not spend that much time in the sun. I wish I did. About 42% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. Again, not just vegans, everybody. And recently, this is really cool, quite a few studies have been done on vitamin D, and it has been shown to increase strength in your muscles. So if you are one of those 42% of people who's deficient in vitamin D, then you're missing out on strength gains. So vitamin D, massively important. And also great for your immune function and living and like being someone who's not gonna die at like 50, okay? Really important. Okay, and then there is good old omega-3. Now, again, something you might not think is for muscle building, but 68% of Americans are deficient in omega-3. That is a huge number. And recently they have proven that omega-3 boosts protein synthesis, so that increases the amount of muscle that you rebuild after a workout. That is a massively important thing. And again, if 68% of people are deficient in it, then you're missing out on some muscle gains, brah. Now, like you saw, I do use the Vivo Life omega-3 one, but I keep it in my fridge because it is liquid. And sometimes your boy is a little bit lazy and forgets to take it, and I brush my teeth and I'm sitting there and I don't want to put liquid into my mouth after I brush my teeth. So I also have a bottle of the Sapling vegan omega-3s because they have like a vegan capsule, which is really cool. And I keep that in my dresser drawer next to my bed. That way, if I'm like about to fall asleep, then I'm like, oh no, omega-3s. 68% of Americans are deficient in omega-3. I can't be one of those people. I need to get gains. And then I'll just suck it on down right before bed, which is pretty sweet. Okay, and that brings me to the last supplement that I take, which is crack cocaine. Okay, no, it's not. It's melatonin. Melatonin is something that's created in your pineal gland naturally, but it basically tells your body it's time to go to sleep. Darkness, time to go to sleep, right? And if you take some before bed, it can really help you sleep. This one is from the Now Company, and they do it with veg caps, vegan capsules, which is really, really sick. So that's the one I use. Sammy gets the 10 milligrams, which is way too much. She takes the 10 milligram. I crack it open and pour about half of it out. So it's about 4 or 5 milligrams, which is more in line with what a normal human being should take. Sammy is not a normal human being. She's a supersonic person. Yeah, and so there you have it. For someone who doesn't take supplements, this might look like a lot of stuff, and it might look expensive to you. Then again, if you're really into flying RC planes, or if you're really into music or whatever it is, you try to do the best you can. And so you're okay with spending a couple dollars. For me, I have always used all of these supplements. The only thing that has really changed is after I went vegan, I then cared about the sourcing of it, made sure that everything was vegan, made sure everything that was pills was veg caps. So yeah. For me, this is bodybuilding. Then again, you absolutely don't need to take all of these supplements, but you are going to have to be a little bit more specific about what you're eating to make sure that you're getting all these vitamins and minerals and different amino acids in from your diet, which to me, I'd rather just make sure I'm nailing it every day because I'm trying to get them optimal gains, bro. Okay, so if you want to check out the sponsored links that I have for Viva Life, again, I'll put the discount code in the link below this video. Everything else I pretty much get from Amazon, unless I said the specific brand name. So yeah, just check them out on Amazon. I hope this was helpful because I'm gonna send everyone to this video when they ask the question about what supplements I take. Let me know what supplements you take in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you love your boy, because your boy loves you. And subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I love you, sexy, amazing, beautiful people, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.